Alright. Coating screens. Screen coater. Got some screens to coat. I think we're in a kind of good. Looks like it might be a little bit low. Let's bring it up a little bit here. See how this goes? We're going to coat some screens. Important part of screen printing. One must have screens you print with, and in order to print in the photo emulsion arena of screen printing, one must coat the screens. This is a scoop coater. And I put a photo emulsion into it. The trick is to get a nice even coat. I like to coat both sides twice and then do a clearing coat in my last pass. Nice and easy. The deal with the emulsion, it's like a pink Elmer's glue, the color of Pepto-Bismol. And what this is a light-sensitive emulsion that you coat the screen with. This will be the clearing coat. So I'll scrape all the extra off of there. It's a light-sensitive emulsion. You coat it on the screen, and then I'll take it and put it in my drawing cabinet. That's one. Once it dries, and it dries in the dark, you can expose the emulsion to light. And everywhere where the light hits it, it will harden and become impervious to the screen printing ink that you will later put into the screen. Quite a number of processes, and I will eventually get to all of them. This is the coating of the screen. And it's very important to get a nice, even coat. If it gets blotchy, you'll have an uneven layer of ink put down on your shirts, and that can be bad. Final coat. Two. Now, of course, if you expose the entire screen to light after the emulsion dried, why, no ink would go through at all, which again would be a bad thing. So what you do is you place the image that you want to print onto a clear piece of film, and you make that image a positive image. My hair out of there. That is to say, a positive representation rather than a negative representation, because you want where the image to be to keep the light from hitting the screen, and thus where your image is, the photo emulsion is dried into the screen, does not harden, and then you can simply wash it out with water. And voila, you have a screen that is ready to print with, pretty much. down, 3 to go. This, I believe, yes, is a 305. The screens come in different meshes. 110, I believe, gives you, or at least it makes sense that it would, give you 110 thread count, mesh count, per inch, I would imagine. So 110 would be a much coarser screen than this one, which is a 305, or what we call in the industry a 305. And that means that it's got a very fine mesh. It's good for fine detail, and is most commonly used on halftones and full color process, which is a process that you use when you want to break, say, a photographic image into its 4 primary colors, being cyan, yellow, magenta, and black. I don't like the way that one did. Let's try it one more time. Go real slow. Much better. And we'll scoop off the extra. But I don't really do. Oh, come on. Good enough. I don't really do halftone work anymore, or CMYK. And this particular screen is going to be used for surfboard laminates. For a Vinny B. Oh! Alright. Generally a 110 screen you'll use when you're printing a light color on darks. You want to get a lot of ink. Well, that's out of the image area. Doesn't really matter. Bit of, I don't know what. So then, yeah, if you're putting like a white ink on a black shirt, you want to get a nice thick deposit of ink on there. And then you will actually do something that's called a spot heat, or flash dry, or a gel cure, and print again on top of the other image with the same screen. And what you'll get is a nice bright white on a black, or bright whatever color it is, on a dark color. You can also sometimes use a 156 line screen to do the same. You don't quite get the same quality of brightness in your white. You're not putting as much ink down on your screen, but you can get a little more detail in your art. And sometimes people like real detailed art on dark, and so you'll adjust and use a 156. Some people like to use 86 line screens, but that's getting a little bit too much like a window screen as far as I'm concerned. It gets too dark and you start seeing the mesh of the screen actually in the print, which I've always found to be kind of foul, so I don't do it. Alright, last one. You might notice these screens aren't perfectly clear through them. They seem to have ghosts of images in them, and that's exactly what they are. Ghosts of images past. Generally, we'll reuse the screen as many times as I can